Hello! In this video, we are going to prove the following theorem. Suppose f is a function from a to b and c is a subset of a. Note that the restriction of f to c is a function from c to b, and it satisfies the fact that for all elements x and c, the restriction of f to c evaluated at x is equal to f of x. Well, if the restriction of f to c is surjective, then so is f. Now, when we say the restriction of f to c is surjective, what we mean is, for every element y in b, there exists an element x in c such that the restriction of f to c evaluated at x is equal to y. And when we say f is surjective, we mean that for every element y in b, there exists an element x in a such that f of x is equal to y. Okay, so now let's get into the proof. So notice we're trying to prove if the restriction of f to c is surjective, then f is surjective. So we're trying to prove an if-then, so let's suppose that the restriction of f to c is surjective. From here, our goal is to show that f is surjective. And to prove that f is surjective, what we can do is we can prove that this statement is true. And we're trying to prove a statement about every element in B, so give me an arbitrary element in B. I'll call it y. And from here, we want to find some element x in A, which satisfies f of x equals y. Well, to start, since the restriction of f to c is surjective, this means that this first statement is true. And this first statement works for every element in B. So it must work for y. Therefore, if we take the y here to be the y in our proof, we have that there is an element x in c such that the restriction of f to c evaluated at x is equal to y. Now, since x is an element of c and c is a subset of a, it follows that x is an element of a. Now, let's also note that since this is true for every element in C, it must be true for x. But putting this together, we now see that there exists an element x in A such that f of x is equal to y. In particular, if we take the x here to be x, well, yeah, x is an element of A, that's what we have here, and f of x is equal to y. That's what we have here. So we have shown that this is true. And since y was an arbitrary element of B, this means for all elements y in B, this is true. So we have proven this statement, which amounts to proving that f is surjective. So what we see here is, if the restriction of f to c is surjective, then f is also surjective. And that's exactly what we wanted to prove. So this completes the proof. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it for this video.